And joining me now are Meri Istiroti, who is the Chief Executive of the Turkish Medical Tourism Development Association and Group Coordinator at Liv Hospital here in Istanbul, and Emre Ali Kodan, who is the founder of the Baki International Health and Travel Solutions. Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. It's good to have you here. Now, Turkey is not just offering white sands, beaches, or historic palaces to visit. Now, having discovered its potential in tourism, especially health sector, Turkey generated billions of dollars out of medical and cosmetic health sectors. Meri, I want to start with you as a businessman, a businesswoman. I'm so sorry. I believe you have greatly contributed to the development of health sector in Turkey, because during the 1990s, most of the Turks used to travel abroad to have their medical treatments. But how this trend turned the other way around? What can you say about that?
Since 1990, there has been enormous developments in healthcare in terms of great investments of hospitals. All these hospitals included a variety of services that we only used to receive abroad or in the public industry. And now, after 2000s, there are really huge chains of healthcare groups in Turkey and major hospitals that provides high-risk cases, treatment and diagnosis, advanced diagnosis that is related on physician expertise and advanced technology. Now that we have all these things, the experience and the technology infrastructure and healthcare management structure, now the patients, primarily local patients, prefer to stay here, because people with high socioeconomic status used to travel abroad for these kind of advanced treatments, plus for social purpose, that they didn't want to be seen in their social environments to have all these medical things done. And then after 2005, Turkey started to become a brand around the world, especially in this part of the world, in the Middle East majorly, and then the Eurasian countries, Russian-speaking countries, Balkan countries, Europe, and now China, and countries like Moldistan. And now they are preferring to utilize Turkish healthcare in reference to Israel, in reference to India or Germany or the States.
Yeah. So Emre, let's touch on a bit of cosmetic surgeries, because we see Turkey's hair plant industry took more than $1 billion in just a year. So it's a huge number. Has the industry reached its peak already, or is there more room to improve that? What do you make of that?
Well, if we can look at the big picture, actually, maybe this $1 billion is just 10% of the whole generated income. So, as we always say, let's look at the behind the scene, because even if, the Turkey, the healthcare industry is popular with hair transplant and plastic surgery, it's not all about that. Last 15 years, Turkey has made huge investments in healthcare. So it's very attractive when you look at it, Europe, Middle East, even if the Balkans, even if the north part of the countries, Turkey is becoming more popular day by day. So when we look at the numbers, for example, in 2023, 2 million patient and 20 billion US dollar income is not a dream, actually. In medical tourism, yes, as you say, plastic surgery and hair transplant can be in front of the, cameras all the time.
But is cosmetic tourism more lucrative than medical tourism? What do you say?
Well, it is more popular than medical tourism, let's say like this, because when you have a hair transplant, after 2 days or 3 days, you can walk in Taksim. And in Taksim, everybody sees you.
Yes.
So the latest numbers should be 100,000 a year, something like that, in hair transplant.
But probably with a patient with cancer, we don't get to see them walking
Exactly.
On
you
the streets,
cannot,
right?
You cannot see a patient who has gotten a kidney transplant,
Yes, sure.
who
sure.
has gotten a chemotherapy treatment.
So, Meri, why are people choosing Turkey? Is price a factor? And can you tell us about other factors that
Yeah.
draws foreigners to Turkey?
Primarily, of course, logistically, we're in a very lucky place. If people don't want to travel abroad to the States or Britain or Germany, we have the luckiest location because people like to travel abroad for medical purposes to countries where they really enjoy in general. Price is an important factor. For example, if we tell about the hair transplant, if we are making, including the hotel and the accommodation here and the medical service for approximately 2,500 euros, it's 3 times in Europe and 10 times in the States.
So, Turkey puts surgery with a package tour?
Yeah, for certain things like hair transplant, plastic surgery, yes, because we can limit the number of days that they stay. But when it's a stem cell transplant or a spinal surgery, obesity surgery, or other kind of high-risk cases, neurosurgery, brain tumors, and so on, then of course it's difficult to put into package. But for cosmetic reasons, yes, we can, and we can compare. It's price-wise, it's really advantageous. I cannot say where the cheapest medical facility in the region because there are some more optimal prices, but considering the technology provided, the fast service in understanding that we really serve from door to door, and the medical expertise, yes, we're on a more optimal scale. And of course, we have in certain brands in Turkey, brands of hospitals, we have really dozens of languages spoken under the same roof. So we are not only providing the international patients medical service, but all kind of visa services, translation, the follow-up care services. So it's a
like
complementary
a full
package. Yeah.
Here's okay, Meri, Emre, thank you very much for joining
You're
me on
welcome.
Straight Talk. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you.